A day we've been waiting for, I like to say years and years and years, but it hasn't. It's been a very short time that we've started this project, and I can't believe that we're at the point that we are here today. So my name is Bill Coppola, and I'm the proud president of the Southeast Campus, and it's now my pleasure to welcome you this morning. This is a very exciting time in the long history of the partnership between Tarrant County College and the Arlington Independent School District. For well over 16 years, the Southeast Campus has served the students of AISD by offering college credit courses within our dual credit program. This semester, there are well over 1,000 students enrolled in collegiate transfer courses and technical programs, and that number will only continue to grow. And that is in the spring semester. In the fall semester, we have close to 1,500 students. That's unduplicated headcount. Through the years, administrators and faculty members have served on a variety of committees in an effort to create a college-going culture in Arlington community. And today we begin yet another initiative, the establishment of the Tarrant County College Southeast Arlington Independent School District Collegiate High School. And I want you all to say that 10 times fast. Creating this opportunity for selected 8th graders to begin their high school career on a college campus. And in a few minutes, the newly hired principal will give you an overview of the rigorous curriculum that the students will be involved in as they earn both their high school diploma and the potential of earning an associate degree within the same 4 years. This concept was begun in the late spring of 2013. Like I said, it wasn't that long ago. And over these past many months, numerous meetings between TCCD and AISD academic, administrative, and student services have taken place. A team of both Tarrant County College and Arlington ISD's representatives traveled to various locations around the state to visit existing early college high schools. And they learned firsthand best practices of how to form a successful school here at the Southeast Campus. And as you drove onto our beautiful campus, I hope you noticed the progress we have made in constructing that facility that will soon hold the first class of freshmen. We've been real fortunate with the weather. We hope it stays up for today. With construction beginning in January of 2014, just this year, the contractor has worked diligently to meet the completion deadline of July 30th. And many thanks goes to Nina Penny and her team for working diligently with the group. And at this time, I'm going to ask Mayor Cluck to come up to the podium and to say a few words about our partnership.
Thank you very much. You know, when I became mayor, I think 12 years ago, I tried to do everything myself, and I found that 10 other people were doing the same thing. And it took me maybe a year to figure out that's not a good way to do it. And so I'm a firm believer, a strong believer, always will be, in partnerships. We had a program Friday night talking about all the programs that all of these schools are doing, AISD, TCC, and they're so critical to the city of Arlington. And because we're forming these partnerships, we have better educated students, I believe. We have more efficient use of our buildings and other facilities, I believe. So I just want to tell you how proud I am to be here today. This is really what Arlington is all about partnerships. So good luck to you guys.
Now, before we witness the signing of our Memorandum of Understanding to officially create our school, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Ben Bholan, the founding principal of the Tarrant County College Southeast Arlington Independent School District Collegiate High School. Ben?
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Coppola. Founding principal, wow, that sounds weird. But I just wanted to thank all of you for coming out for this momentous occasion. This is quite an honor for me personally as someone who's grown up in AISD, a graduate of our schools and attended university here at UTA. And also I've been an adjunct professor at one point at Southeast Campus here. So this is quite an honor for me and quite an opportunity. I first want to thank our school board and Dr. Cavazos for having the vision to have an early college high school here in Arlington, and also for Chancellor Johnson Hadley and President Coppola for working with our school district, and because of the long success that TCC Southeast Campus has had with dual credit in our schools, it makes sense to have a great partnership like this, and it's going to be quite a success, and we're really looking forward to starting it. So just so you know, we have a very small staff to start out with, and you know, Miss Lori Leverton got introduced earlier. She's our counselor, and Joanna Sosa England is our secretary. So we've been, just to update you on the recruiting trail, and one question Dr. Cavazos posed to me was, how are you going to sell the vision? Because there's no building yet, and you know, there's no students, so how are you going to go sell this to 8th graders? So I want to thank Ms. Leverton and Ms. Sosa England for doing an outstanding job of coming to campuses with me and then conducting parent nights over the last few months. We visited every junior high, talked to every 8th grader, and it was great. It was very eye-opening. The 8th graders have great questions. And that's a credit to the leadership and the principals at our junior high schools. And so we talked to them about our school and tried to sell it the best that we could. And so we just finished our application deadline, and we have close to 400 students that have applied. So we were very pleased with that response for our first year. And through that process, we're going to narrow down those numbers to approximately between 100 and 120 students to be our first group to start out. And so we're in those stages, and hopefully we'll have the students identified here by the end of May. And the students that we're looking for, and when we talk to the kids, it's really great to mention to them, you know, maybe you're someone as an 8th grader who just never thought about college being an option. Or maybe there are barriers that you have as students that are financial or for other reasons. And we're wanting to open the door for those students who are at risk and who may not otherwise consider college being an option for them. So we're really looking for kids who need us the most. And that's going to be our goal, is to provide that opportunity for them that they may not otherwise have. You know, through this process, it's been really a pleasure for me getting to know some of the TCC staff as well. So I wanted to take a little bit of time to thank them, the deans, you know, the vice presidents, the counselors and advising team, for just being open to working with us. And, you know, we have scheduling issues, of course. You're bringing two entities together, and it's new for all of us, and it's a learning experience, but I wanted to thank them for being so welcoming and allowing us the opportunity to come sit in their meetings and talk about what our needs are, which sometimes are different than theirs, and then vice versa. So we really want to, when we talk to the kids, explain to them the rigor at college level and what they're going to experience, because that's quite a challenge, not only thinking about if I was in 8th grade, thinking about me going to high school back when I was in 8th grade, but then here I am taking some college classes as well. So quite a jump, not only to realize what's required for high school, but college also. So we really want to establish that, the college readiness on their behalf. So by the time in 2018, our first group of students are graduating, they're just so prepared and focused on continuing on to a four-year institution, and they know how to be successful in college. So again, I wanted to thank you all for coming out and your support, and we're really looking forward to making this a success and meeting the needs of our students here in Arlington Independent School District. Thank you.
Now I'm going to ask our Chancellor and the Superintendent to join us on stage for a signing ceremony, and then they're going to say a few words, and then we have another special presentation. We are using special commemorative pens for this ceremony. I'm glad they have ink.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on this very important day to really realize something that has been worked on for, it seems like a long time, but you're right, Bill, it hasn't been that long. I'll tell you that when you have a board that is progressive, When you have a community that values partnership, Mayor, as you mentioned, and when you have an outstanding institution like Tarrant County College, the Chancellor and the President, anything is possible. And so we know that our work to serve students, we cannot do alone, and we need partners. But more importantly, we need to help students realize their dreams. And so today it's more about realizing your dreams than helping students dream. And today is a tangible example of changing lives. This opportunity for students as they come in as freshmen to the early college high school will transform their life. And not only their life, but the lives of their family, and I suggest that the life of generations to come in their families. And so that's how you serve students. Our board demonstrates that every single time. Our staff, it's one thing for us to have an idea and to come together, but it's another thing to make those things happen. So I want to thank everyone who worked on this early college high school process, because at the end of the day, it's about serving students and serving them well. And not only serving them, but serving their families and the communities. So today is a demonstration of the realization of dreams. And so I look forward to opening and welcoming students on the first day of school. I guess that's a teaser as to where we'll be the first day of school, right? But I will look forward to that, because as I visit students and eighth graders, current eighth graders, the excitement about this possibility is tremendous. And so the inspiration that today brings, Chancellor, I think is very meaningful. And we have an outstanding relationship, not just the two institutions, but the people in the institutions. And I thank you for your commitment and your support of our students in Arlington. And thank you, Bill, for your tireless work on serving students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos, and good morning to each of you. I want to start my remarks by, again, acknowledging my Board of Trustees, and I'd like for them to stand up for a moment, because I want you to know, stand now, please. Okay. I want you to know that they are very tolerant of me and all of my ideas. Some of them sometimes come across as being a little wild, but they listen very carefully, and they are very, very much the thoughtful leaders that Tarrant County College needs. And I will tell you, the reason I asked them to stand is because they agreed with me when I suggested that we take $13.2 million out of our budget to build the early college high school when we really didn't have the money to spare. But the board is forward thinking enough until they could see past our perhaps short-term needs and look more at the long-term needs. So I just wanted to acknowledge them and the wonderful insight and vision that they bring to the leadership of Tarrant County College. Thank you, board members. Thank you. And now I want to acknowledge my dear friend to my left, who I guess, I'm not sure how many days Dr. Cavazos had been interim superintendent when we met at UTA to sign an MOU that would help students from Arlington ISD and Mansfield ISD and Tarrant County College form a relationship with UTA. We've always had a good relationship with UTA, and I'm sure Arlington ISD has as well, but we wanted to formalize it and make sure that we got the word out to students that you stay in high school, graduate, do these dual credit courses, come to TCC, get that associate degree. No, I put that in there. Come to TCC, get that associate degree, and then go to UTA. And you know, the interesting thing is UTA likes that model, but anyway, Dr. Cavazos and I had a nice, rather intimate conversation, just the two of us that day. And he talked to me about what he envisioned for Arlington ISD. Now, he was just interim, but I think there was something in his head that made him think he was going to get the attention of the Board of Trustees and he was going to be there for a while. So we laughed about having that in common, because I began my work as chancellor for the college as the interim chancellor, and I, as Dr. Cavazos did, went about my business working to do what the board had asked me to do, with the full understanding that I might eventually be there on a permanent basis. But one of the things that Dr. Cavazos and I talked about that day was his dreams. He told me a number of things that he really wanted to do for Arlington ISD, and it was very soon after that, you may recall, that he came to my office and we talked about the possibility of an early college high school. I mean, it was on his brain from day one. And of course, I said to him, wonderful, let's talk about how we can make that happen, because my goal and my vision for Tarrant County College is to have an early college high school on all 5 campuses. So yes, I am ready to work with you. And that's where it began. And we laid out the basic parameters, and then he and Dr. Coppola went from there. So I want to give a really special thank you to Dr. Coppola, because he has been absolutely outstanding in getting us to where we are today. He and I even argued about the name. And if you wanted to know why so long, you know, that's what compromise looks like. That's exactly what compromise looks like. So Dr. Cavazos was in a compromising mood, and I was in a compromising mood, and he wanted what he wanted, and I wanted what I wanted. So that's why the name is so long. So you'll have to learn how to say all of that, in my presence anyway. And so you put Tarrant County College in there someplace. When you're in his presence, you make sure you put AISD in there. The bottom line, though, is I want to focus on one thing that the principal said, and we want to congratulate him again, because I know that Dr. Cavazos was very, very careful about making sure he chose the right person to start the school. But I hope you caught the part where he said, helping those students who need us. And I'm not sure if he said the most, because that sounded just like what I say all the time. So I don't want to, I'm kind of paraphrasing him. But the thing I say to people at Tarrant County College all the time is that TCC does an absolutely outstanding job for students who need us least. But for the students who need us most, we still have a lot of heavy lifting to do. And the same thing goes for Arlington ISD and any other ISD around the country. The students who need you most are the ones who are most challenging. They are the ones that are harder for you to get to where you want them to be. And this early college high school is going to focus on those students who need you and us the most. And I am very pleased about that. The whole model of an early college high school was begun because it was designed to help students who perhaps may not be thinking of going to college. They didn't come from a college-going culture, or they may even be more likely to drop out of school. So that's what the early college high school really is supposed to do. So we're so pleased that that's the focus of this school. And I believe it's going to be a STEM. Is that right? Did I get that right? You're still, okay, I'm talking too fast. You're compromising on your end too, huh? Very good. What we know is it's going to be a great school. That's what we know, and that's the most important thing. And for those of you who may not know this, we started an early college high school 3 years ago on our Northwest campus. And we have a few students who are going to graduate from high school and from TCC with an associate's degree in 3 years. That's what an early college high school can do for students. And we're very, very pleased about that. We have our second early college high school at our downtown campus, Trinity River campus, with Fort Worth ISD, and it's called the Texas Academy of TAB Biological, did I say that right? Sciences. Texas Academy of Biological Sciences. And it is, of course, a specialty high school. The students in that school are juniors this year. And it's a little different model. They started on their campus, and they're coming to Trinity River campus this fall. Our long-term goal, when I say long-term, perhaps by this time next year, all those students will be on our Trinity River campus. Our South Campus is starting an early college high school this fall with Everman ISD, and theirs is going to be a completely different model. It's an early college high school within the school, and it's going to focus primarily on technical programs. The Northeast Campus is opening an early college high school this fall on our Northeast Campus, and it is going to focus, I think, primarily on general education, I believe. I'm not sure about the focus. It may be like you, they're still working on that. And then next fall, we're expecting to open an early college high school on the campus of South Campus. And so that will fulfill my vision, at least, that we get an early college high school on each of our campuses. Mayor Cluck and I were talking before we began, and he said some of the same things that I have been thinking for a long, long time, and I'm so pleased that we have entered these partnerships, because it doesn't make any sense at all for the taxpayers to spend money twice if they don't have to. And so getting students in an early college, high school environment, getting students in the dual credit track is so important to the future of not just their lives, but for the lives of, I say all the time, as Dr. Cavazos just said, their families, the city of Arlington, state of Texas, United States of America, and even for the world, because we are a world society today. Everything is global, everything is, and nothing that happens in the United States of America can stand alone itself anymore. And so our students who are graduating from high school and who are graduating from some kind of program at the community college, at least, is what they need to do. For those who won't go on and get the associate degree, at least they need some technical training, because those jobs of yesterday are gone and many of them are not coming back. So Dr. Cavazos, you and I have talked about a lot of different things. We have other things even on the Harper coming up. But I'm so pleased today to be here with you to sign this Memorandum of Understanding and get those students ready for the fall semester this 2014. Dr. Coppola mentioned the weather. We're going to open this school. I don't know if Nina Petty is in here this morning or not, but we've talked about, we're going to open this school in the fall of 2014. We may have to walk over rows of carpeting, Dr. Cavazos, or whatever. We're going to open this school, so have no doubt. The contractor knows what happens if we don't open the school on time. So thank all of you so much. And again, Dr. Coppola, we're turning back over to you, and thank you so much for your leadership.
I'm going to ask you to please stay up on the stage as we continue our program. I also like this opportunity to thank our chancellor and our board for supporting us in building a high school out here, a $13 million building on this campus, which is unprecedented. There are still people calling us from all over the state saying, how did you get that done? And it's the vision of both boards and the vision of our chancellor in order to see that, as Dr. Cavazos and I, when we would meet in the beginning, said, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it right this time. That was our underlying, which we are well above that. Okay, as we continue, excuse me, we talk about partnerships. The Southeast Campus has always prided itself with being surrounded by wonderful community sponsors, and these types of partnerships have been invaluable in providing internship opportunities for our students, collaboration in curriculum development, scholarships for our students, and sponsorships for numerous events. Today, we are honored to have one of our community partners for the Collegiate High School, Texas Trust Credit Union. It is my pleasure to call President Jim Minge to the stage for a special presentation. Jim?
Well, thank you guys so much for allowing us to come up and say a few words. I was really impressed. Our mission as a credit union is to build brighter financial futures. That's what we try and do every day. We work hard in the communities we serve to do that. And I had this great opportunity where I got invited to a meeting with Dr. Coppola and Dr. Cavazos to talk about this early college high school. And you know, they needed a community sponsor to help get it off the ground, and so we decided we wanted to do that. And also, we're going to help the school district with a partnership there, with a little bit of fundraising that helps as well. And as we talked, I got this just infectious, almost, enthusiasm from these two gentlemen. And so I asked Dr. Cavazos, I said, what could we do that would be really impactful for this first class of students, this first 100 students in this high school? And he said, well, I think a scholarship would be nice. And I said, okay, 100 students, you know what, $250? And he said, I think we need just a little more than that. And I said, okay, what, $500? And he said, well, to be really impactful, $1,000 would be better. And so I have a board of directors as well. I went back to our board of directors at the next meeting, and I told them what we were planning and what we had talked about, and they didn't kick me out of the room. I couldn't believe it. So we were able to get our board to agree that when this first class graduates in 2018, each graduating student will get a $1,000 scholarship from Texas. So I've got to explain what the check is for. The first check is it's $35,000. That is our commitment to the early college high school. I don't know, has it been decided how it's going to be used yet, Dr. Coppola? Yeah, we're working to figure the details. We've got details in all these things that are still working. But we're going to help support the high school with that. And then we've also got the big gift for the scholarships as well.
And that brings the total from Texas Trust of $100,000 commitment to the school. I want to make sure I recognize Heather Castillo. I don't know if she's here, but she's with AISD. Carol Brecken has worked tirelessly for TCC, and as well as Angela Robinson, who oversaw the whole operation. And they have worked tirelessly to get, we have an MOU now that is going to be a model for all early college high schools in the state. It's not just a piece of paper to sign to say it's a partnership. It is just going to be a model that's going to be shared. Okay, I'm sorry, I got to calm down. That concludes our ceremony. And I want to thank you for joining. Now I just have to say, because you know I go off script sometimes. This is so exciting that you sit down at a table and you just think of ideas, and a year later, we almost got a building built, rather than saying, well, we'll just wait another year. No, we have worked fast, and I'm just excited about being here. That's my personal thought. Okay, so that concludes our ceremony, and I want to thank you for joining us this morning as we formally begin the partnership creating the Tarrant County College Southeast Arlington ISD Collegiate High School. Please help yourself to some wonderful refreshments by Chef Warner and our culinary arts program have prepared. And those members of the media that are here with us this morning who would like to take photos of the construction, we're going to be providing transportation to the site. So please gather over here, this part of the stage. So with that, I want to thank you for coming out this morning. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all your hard work in making this possible. We're looking forward to serving the students and the folks of Arlington ISD. Bye.